Greetings from the INS team in New York City. 2 weeks of historic impeachment hearings on live television have come and gone. 12 witnesses testified, many of them defying the US president, and in totality, they stitched together the story of an American president willing to use his bully pulpit to push a foreign government for personal political help. Democrats are on the brink of voting to impeach Trump by Christmas this year, we are hearing. Arul Lewis joins me as we bring you the main takeaways from the intense political circus in Washington, D.C. Arul, in terms of political cost, is this hurting anybody yet?
Oh boy, that was like watching more than 30 hours of a Rashomon-like TV show featuring 12 witnesses and 22 committee members. We got a view of the impeachment issues from as many points of view. It was deliberately played as a TV drama with everyone playing to the camera and sometimes appealing directly to the viewers. The witnesses prefaced their testimonies with their personal and family histories, and some of the questions were more like propaganda for their sides. Ultimately, it's all in the eyes of the beholder, with each side, that's the Republicans and Democrats, feeling vindicated. Democrats finally got two people who were on the infamous telephone call between Trump and Ukraine President Zelensky to testify after second-hand testimonies about the call in which Trump supposedly asked for favors to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden, a potential candidate in next year's election, and his son. It was established beyond doubt that such a request was made, but the other issue that came up, delaying military aid to Ukraine till Zelensky agreed to the investigations of Biden, as well as whether Ukraine was involved in meddling in the 2016 elections, wasn't. There was a delay that Democrats say was because Trump wanted to use it as a bribe, extortion, or quid pro quo, take your pick. Republicans say that it was because Trump wanted to be sure that the government was committed to fighting corruption and that the aid would not be siphoned off. They point out that the aid was ultimately released without a probe. Democrats say it happened only because it was exposed and therefore it's still a crime. The Republicans' defense is that there was no crime because the aid wasn't held up, and two, that it was just a setup to trap Trump while at the same time ignoring the Biden's role in the Burisma scandal. That's the company that hired Biden's son, and Biden interfering with the prosecutor who was investigating the company. The witnesses, except for one, were all present or career foreign service officers or policy officials. It was sometimes a revenge of the disc, reacting to the frequent humiliations from Trump. They also made the case that there was a parallel foreign policy set up for Trump's personal benefit, operated by his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. The outsider in this whole setup was Gordon Sondland, a hotelier and real estate developer like Trump, who gave about $1 million to Trump's inaugural celebrations and was appointed as envoy to the European Union. Talk about quid pro quo. In a phone call between him and Trump, overheard partially by David Holmes, who worked in the Kiev embassy, the president asked if Zelensky agreed to hold an inquiry. Sondland said that there was a quid pro quo, but later, during questioning by Republicans, he said it was his own interpretation and that Trump had not directly said so. Sondland also later backtracked and said that Trump told him, I want nothing, I want no quid pro quo, tell Zelensky to do the right thing. Holmes, who testified about the call and the parallel diplomacy interfering with the official one, had worked in the US Embassy in New Delhi earlier in his career. The star witness was probably Fiona Hill, a former senior director of the National Security Council. She tried to be non-partisan, criticizing the parallel diplomacy that damaged the State Department and condemning giving credence to what she said were Russian-inspired stories about Ukrainian interference. But she also said that the Ukrainians, like many foreign countries, bet on the wrong horse, and its ambassador's op-ed in the 2016 campaign was ill-advised. But a lot of leaders, including some from US allies, had said hurtful things about Trump, she said. She also said that delaying aid was endangering Ukraine and was harmful to the US because it strengthened Russia. She also admitted that while she was outside the government, she had opposed military aid to Ukraine. During the testimony, the name of Indian American White House official Kashyap Patel propped up, the political appointee was usurping the NSC role in Ukraine, it was said. Now, as far as the public opinion is concerned, the support for the impeachment has been coming down from 51% in an aggregate of polls by Real Clear Politics on November 10 to 48% on Thursday. The spread has narrowed from 9% to just over 3%. So it looks like either people are holding on to their beliefs, or the people who are on the margins are sort of switching sides unmoved or moved in the other direction by the hearings.